Super Kitty. It's over there, buddy. Whoa. Quick, go get him, buddy. Bloody mice. In the walls, they can hear him, but they can't get him. Anyway, I don't want to talk about all that. I want to talk about another project and a few things that I've learnt about making things go viral. A few little one main theory I have, and another lesson I've learnt from a subscriber and from somebody in the newspaper. And talk about this new the new project in context of the cardboard house. Now, as you guys know, recently, with some advice that was given a long time ago by Troy, and a bit of talk that I've had with Tony, and also something that I've sort of read here and there, and the penny should have dropped earlier. I've got a particular theory that I'm going to go down in regards to trying to increase my subscriber numbers and whatnot. It has been with me, with subscribers, especially since I've stopped putting the search tags in. It was like 5 steps forward, 4 steps back. Anyway, using this new theory I have, I should eventually start progressing, on the path to getting more subscribers with a bit more effort, but not a ton of effort. But anyway, to the cardboard house and a bit of viralology. I had hoped that the cardboard house, you got to realise I put $3,000 or $4,000 into this. It was months of effort, nearly 3 months of effort on this thing, and I put a lot of effort into that. Now, I hoped it would have got a bit of coverage. I'd like to thank Kirsten Dirksen of faircompanies.com, Troy Reid of the Do-It-Yourself World, and beforethenews.com for their efforts covering it. That was about as far as the coverage got. I did get an interview for a few minutes from a radio station. That interview was never played. The reality of the situation is that although I spent 10 hours emailing all these different news agency outlets and all this stuff, with a lot of help from a big list made by someone who I'm not sure is even still subscribed to me, that 10 hours of effort just went bloody nowhere. And, about a week later I realised that it sort of, the world had no idea of the cardboard house. Meanwhile, you got an architect in Japan who's actually been investigating cardboard and paper buildings and whatnot for 25 years. He ends up on TED Talks. His stuff ends up on the news because he built a church in New Zealand out of cardboard. So for those of you who thought cardboard wasn't a goer, don't worry. This guy's well known for it, but my version, which he sort of, he'd have a plastic roof over the top of the cardboard, and the cardboard was like all waxed side by side, almost like a blooming bamboo raft, to make up the rest of the building, and then all plastic bloomin' roofing over the top of it. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that, a while ago I opened the newspaper up. I was looking at it, I had it in my hands, and then I opened the first page, and then bang, right there, as I opened it, right there in front of me, was this guy with what looked like a doghouse screwed to an outdoor shitter mounted on a Prius. I mean, the outdoor shitter was mounted on the tow hitch of the Prius, which was screwed to a dog kennel mounted to the roof. That's pretty much all it was. It took him a day to build this thing from offcuts. His estimated material cost, if he had to buy it, would have been about $100. I have seen Troy build things 3 times as good as this thing out of pallet wood, out of old pallets. This thing looked like a crock of shit, and it was made in a day. This bloke went to a music festival 3 days beforehand. He was in like Wednesday's newspaper or something, and this was a weekend music festival. And he parked it there, and everybody walked past it. He must have had it near the entrance or near some point of entry or high traffic, whether it was, toilets or whatever. And maybe it was because he had the shitter on the back. And anyway, he had it in an appropriate spot. And people walked past it and took photos of it and tweeted the photos, and Instagram and Facebook and share, tweet. And what do you know? He went viral in 3 days with something that took him a day to make out of a bunch of old offcuts that looked worse than anything Troy's ever done. And I thought, you're bloody joking. I put in thousands of dollars, months of effort to get nowhere, essentially coverage-wise. Yeah, the house itself was a success. Hell, if I had got it through this flaming winter, it would have been 2 years. But sadly, that's not going to happen. Radical RC, long-time subscriber. He's probably should have a look at his channel if you're interested in anything to do with aircraft-related stuff, because he is very big on remote control aircraft and aircraft design. He told me what you got to do is you got to get that cardboard house into a area where the public can see it, whether it be town shows or just the local showgrounds or somewhere where people can see it, and get it covered, get it out there in front of the public so they can see this damn thing, and then you're going to get some coverage for it, and it'll get the the coverage it deserves. It'll get people thinking. It'll as I said in I don't know, to somebody, I think it might have been a radio interview actually. Plastic has had its time where it's gone from stuff that people didn't consider very highly to being in everything. Cardboard, has been seen as one genre. It's time for it and different forms of cardboard to be bought into their full potential and see the same sort of potential that, plastic had, from where it was considered rubbish to where it's now used everywhere. And, it's cardboard's time to shine in the sun, so to speak. And I just wanted people to have a look at this stuff and have a think about all this, because I believe cardboard had a lot of potential. And try and get a bit of coverage and, more YouTube subscribers and a bit more, out there, so to speak, than I had before. But Radical RC was right. and it was proven by this guy with the bloody shitter in the doghouse hooked to a Prius. And, you know, quite simply, I was worried that I'd put it on the back of a truck and the damn thing would, you know, the truck driver would drive full speed and it'd damage it in the wind or the vibrations of taking it into a showgrounds or whatever would, you know, crack the waterproof coating or, you know, to blow off the bloody back onto someone's windscreen. You know, I was really concerned about wind damage with a truck driver driving at full speed against my recommendations and all this sort of stuff. You know, and it's like it was more money that I'd throw in so a few more people could see it, and it probably cost me a bucket load, and I'd had a gutful, you know, of trying to promote it and whatnot. But anyway, I have another project that I have to do a little bit of research to see if it's worth it. I was going to make a nice version of this new project, but it would cost close to $1,000, maybe $800 or more. And I can do a slightly more basic version for probably under $500. And I may end up doing a basic but very highly souped up, probably a bit oversized version, which may be closer to $1,000, but be very highly effective in its job. This is a machine that is wearable, and I should be able to whack the words Link Night on, or Google Link Night, or whatever the heck on the front of it. It's just like you had a good laugh the first time you saw the cardboard house and thought, I cannot believe this. The first time you see this thing, it'll be the same. You'll laugh and say, I can't believe it. But then you'll realise that, just like I'm sure some guy sleeping under a bridge would have loved a cardboard house, I think anyone in the right circumstances would love this wearable device, because let's just put it like this. I'd definitely be in a nice spot with this wearable device comparative to those who wouldn't have one. And yeah. But anyway, I've got to do a bit of research and see if this is all worth it. I have sort of done a little bit of research previously on it, but I've got to dig a little bit deeper to get a few other things answered. And if it all seems good enough, or even rough enough, good enough, near enough, I'll go ahead and have a go at building said device, and you can all be pleasantly laughing, shocked, in disbelief at the next crazy thing that Link makes.